Anybody listening to this is going to say, well, okay, John teaches us ways our relationships can help balance our hormones. But what can we do ourselves, single people listening? And also, if you're in a marriage, you can't be fully dependent on your partner. You have to be able to balance hormones yourself. And one of the biggest challenges to healthy hormones for men and then for women is, I hate to say it, but it's belly fat. We're becoming an obese society. And even before obesity, you've got these men, as we're getting older, our bellies get bigger. Now, the function of a belly is whenever your life was stressed, your estrogen goes high. Okay, we all have stress. We're not perfect. Our estrogen will go high. When estrogen goes high, that would be either when you're in fight or flight, you're arguing, or you're feeling anxious and afraid. Whenever that happens, or depressed, your estrogen levels are going too high. What estrogen will do in your body is put fat on your belly. And once you have that fat on your belly, it will produce more estrogen. So the tendency of manufacturing estrogen just automatically comes from a belly fat, which then stores more fat on your belly. And, people are fighting that battle by some people thinking not eating fat, some people thinking only eating fat. There's all these different diets. And I think it's great if your diet worked for you and you got the belly fat off. Same thing for women. When you have belly fat, you inhibit your ability to produce estrogen. And so now you're eating more food to try to produce estrogen, because when you are depending on food for satisfaction, then you make estrogen, but you end up putting on more belly fat. And then that belly fat does store more fat. Now, it is natural as you get closer to your period as you're a woman to put on a little bit extra weight, but then it goes off after ovulation. But once you get this belly fat, it just takes control of your life, which is why so many people have a hard time with dieting. Anytime you're dieting, you're reducing calories. Whenever you reduce calories, you're reducing your metabolism. What that means is that now you have less ability to burn off that fat. So it's a cycle that gets downward. Dr. Arciero, in a book called Protein Pacing, he has talked about how you can increase your calories, increasing your calories of protein in order to raise your metabolism. So then you're like you were when you were young and you weren't overweight. And literally, he's proven that in a month, you can take a couple of inches off your belly. I mean, literally, I did. It was mind-blowing for me.
Wow. Protein pacing?
Yes, protein pacing,
Wow.
Dr. Arciero. And we have a team of people.
Hold on, I'll be back. I'm going to go get that book right now.
Okay. Yeah, he's really amazing. You can do a Google search for him. You can hear about it. And at our website, marsvenus.com, at the bottom, you can say, contact us and say you're interested in that program, and we will have somebody help you with it, because it is a few more details with it. But the bottom line is, I just already have everyone. I do one of these with 35 grams of protein in it every 4 to 5 hours throughout the day, which is a lot of protein. And it has to be done in a certain way. You incubate the protein, not just any protein shake. You have to have enzymes, the protein itself. You put it in hot water, warm water, and it will digest over 45 minutes. So now you get amino acids rather than proteins that have to be broken down. Normally, people, when they eat a protein, they're getting about 20% of the amino acids, which is great for your brain and everything. Here, you're getting 95% of the protein converted into amino acids. It's an amazing experience. It's the easiest thing I've ever done to knock off my belly fat. I'm just so happy about it. And I'm helping so many of my clients. And I'm seeing men's testosterone levels just shoot up really high. And for women to find that imbalance of just being at ease with their body, feeling lighter, and their estrogen levels coming back into balance as well. So these are things that people should be aware of.
And look, I think that, just listening from our brief conversation, there's a lot here to unpack, and you can dive deep on all of it. And I agree with you. You and I both travel a ton. And one of the things I'm always calls my attention is, especially in these airports where people cannot get from gate C2 to gate D51 because it's like 1,000 yards and they need golf carts. And I'm walking and I have golf carts beeping at me in an airport. And I'm like, wait a minute, and that they come to the airport and the first thing that has to be done is get some large, soft drink or some processed pre-prepared food and everything like that. And I can see how it affects the amygdala, the cortisol, the testosterone, the estrogen, processing the foods, the belly fat. It's just kind of this vicious cycle. So I'm just so excited.
you can gain without a healthy metabolism, you gain a pound a day. And I did it as well. I mean, I just went on
Yeah.
vacation for 4 days and I gained 3 pounds, but I'll knock it off in the next couple of days by just
Yeah.
doing protein shakes. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And you can
Yeah.
eat what you want as well. It's just you're not hungry when you have so much protein because protein has the amino acids. The amino acids what build your body, produces your brain chemicals, helps the whole body do everything it's designed to do. And I did this back when I wrote a whole book on how to heal ADHD for kids, getting amino acids into their brain. And you have to do these expensive IV drips and so forth, and you can reverse it. I had early stage Parkinson's with IV drips and certain minerals. I was able to reverse it. Well, now you don't need to get IV drips. Now these Swiss doctors figured out that if you combine certain enzymes with certain proteins, let them incubate, you will get 95% of the amino acids out just from a dairy protein, when normally you would get
Wow.
maybe 10 or 15%. It wouldn't have that big of an effect. This is like magic. It's
Yeah.
the answer for people. One, just because people want to lose weight if they're overweight. But what I see, all happiness comes from balancing the hormones inside. And this becomes a very practical way to do it.